I'm looking at both of them. I certainly wouldn't sign the more moderate
What does the bill have to have in it?
I need a bill that gives this country tremendous border security. I have to have that. We have to get rid of catch and release.
Does that mean the wall?
We have to have the wall. If we don't have the wall, there's no bill.
Got to have the wall. We've heard that a lot. President Trump saying he will not sign a moderate immigration bill, especially if it does not include that wall. These comments reportedly caught Republican leaders off guard as GOP lawmakers are working on voting next week on both a middle ground and a hard right immigration bill. Both of those include border security provisions like the wall, but the compromise measure gives young dreamers a chance at becoming citizens. Joining me now is Fox News contributor Rachel Campos Duffy and Democrat strategist Jon Summers. Thank you both for being here. Rachel, let me begin with you. That did take some GOP leaders by surprise. The president said, I'm not so happy on the moderate immigration bill. Why do you think that is? What's his objection?
I think he didn't know what he was talking about in that moment. I think that the word moderate came out and he's like, well, I'm not moderate on immigration. I must not be for that one. He's been really busy lately, Ashley. I mean, he's had North Korea. He's had the IG report. I think if he looked at this bill, he would see that all of his priorities are in this bill. It has $25 billion for the wall. It ends chain migration and turns it into a merit-based system. It ends the diversity lottery program. It resolves DACA, something he said he wanted to do. And it even includes provisions to keep families together at the border, which is something that he also wanted. So I think there's just some miscommunication. You have to remember, his own hardliner, Stephen Miller, was involved in crafting this compromise bill. But it also is in line with the moderates in the House who are in tough races in California, Texas, and Florida. They like it, too. This is as good as it gets. And if they could pass this, this could be epic, not just legislatively, but politically. It's a huge win.
What do you say, John? Is it a good deal? We get funding for the wall, tighter security on the border, ending the chain migration, getting rid of the visa lotteries, but ultimately giving a path to citizenship for the so-called dreamers. Is that a good deal? Is that something Democrats can get behind?
Well, look, I know that it's probably news to some people that being president is hard, but it shouldn't be news to Donald Trump.
Low blow. Let me answer the question.
Well, no, being the president is a difficult job. We heard George W. Bush talk about that a while back. So I don't think that's an excuse. And it certainly can't be an excuse to tell people to not take the president at his word. If he's going to go out there and he's going to talk to reporters, and he's got to go out there and he's got to speak honestly to reporters. Here's the deal. There's a lot of blame on the Republican side against Democrats for blocking any sort of progress. But let me remind you, it was Mitch McConnell who this year said he wasn't going to bring up an immigration bill. It was President Trump this morning who said he wasn't going to sign this bill that was crafted by Republicans themselves in private. And let me also remind you about the day after Chuck Schumer met with President Trump. He came back to him with a policy proposal, and the president said, I like that, let's do it. And just a short while later, his staff killed it. So I'd love to see where in that the Democrats are to blame.
But you never answered the question. Very quickly, Rachel. John, you never answered it.
But he actually did answer it, Ashley. He actually did, because the Democrats don't want this to happen. I'm going to tell you what, the biggest fear for the Democrats is this bill passing. President Trump, he's a deal maker. He likes to do things that nobody's done before. Nobody's been able to deal with immigration for 30 years. The Democrats had 8 years to do this and to resolve the issue on DACA. If President Trump does this, the Democrats will be checkmated. It will take immigration off the table, and Republicans will be able to talk to Hispanics about taxes and the economy and jobs and family values and everything they're aligned with. This is a nightmare for the Democrats, which is why your guest was so quick to jump and say, see, the deal is dead. The deal's not dead. The president didn't understand what he was talking about when they said a moderate bill. The bill that is put forward in the compromise meets every single one of the president's priorities. I think when he figures that out and his people, including Stephen Miller, get with him, he's going to back this bill. And this bill is dangerous.
John, let me jump in very quickly.
Yeah, but he's had a few hours to figure it out.
All right, let's move on from there. John, let me ask you this.
Check out his last tweet. He's on board.
John, very quickly, does it not serve your purpose to get the DACA issue resolved? If it does get resolved, does that hurt you because it's been resolved and you can't rely on some votes if President Trump gets the credit for it?
Listen, everyone in America wants to pass immigration reform that's tough on people who break the laws, that's fair to taxpayers, and that's practical to implement.
Except for
if
sanctuary
the Republicans
cities.
can bring that to the table, then let's do it. But Mitch McConnell has already said he wasn't going to do it. So it's nice that you can try to blame Democrats for what happened, 8 years ago or whatever. But the reality is it's the Republicans who control the White House. It's the Republicans who control the Senate and the House. Well, if it gets out of the House, let's take it to the Senate and let's see what moderates do. Let's see what people like Dean Heller do with this.
Wasn't this fun?
Wow. If it gets out of the House,
Let's leave it right there, folks.
There's going to be a lot of pressure on Republican moderates as well.
All right. Let's have to leave it. We're running out of time. Could do this all day. Rachel and John, thank you so much.
Thank you, Ashley.
Really appreciate your thoughts.